Yo, what's good, world, man? Y'all already know, man. Back with another one, man. Man, this right here is crazy, man. It's getting a real hectic with your boy Diddy, man. He going through too much right now, man. They talking about that daughter that he adopted again, man. Where is she at? The update on her. Jaguar Wright is chewing him to pieces, man. I'm not going to spill all the tea. I want y'all to check this new information that's just coming out about her, man. And of course, Gene Deal going in. Charleston White even going in on it, man. They got something that I want to tell you that came out, man. I guess y'all probably wouldn't be surprised because, nowadays, I'm not surprised of what any of them be doing nowadays anyway, as it is. But they got footage of your boy, man, and y'all got to check this one out on this video. I'm going to leave this one short and simple. But they got your boy Kevin Hart, man. They got him admitting to being with Diddy. He said he didn't want to do it. Diddy gave him that bag. And of course, he took the bag and he did it. And it's footage. Allegedly, this is all allegedly, I'm going to say, man. Don't hand me up for nothing. But they saying that, yeah, he got paid the bag, and now his wife done found out about the whole situation. She's leaving him, and the tape is on the market. So Kevin Hart and Diddy tape is on the market, man. And they saying there's some other tapes that's on the market too as well, allegedly. They said one with Beyonce, Chris Brown, Rihanna, who was it? I think it was Justin Bieber. It was a host of people that was on this one tape. They said that was selling for $500 million. Can you imagine spending $500 million on a tape just to see what they was doing? That's crazy. That'll let you know, man. Only the elite people are going to be purchasing this stuff and keeping it under wraps. Then they also saying that, they had a host of people paying big dollars to not have their names put out. Of course, they saying Jayz is one of the first ones that paid that big bag to keep his name out of the whole situation. Me personally, I don't think that's fair because that's basically a cover up. It's like I'm gonna let you know that who's gonna be on what and what's coming up and who's gonna be on next on the list. But you know what? If y'all wanna keep y'all names under wraps, you send me that bag and I won't put your name out. Like, come on, man, that should be illegal. That's worse than blackmailing, man. Like if it's wrong, it's wrong, man. All wrong things gonna come to an end anyway, as they say, man. And what's in the dark is gonna come in the light, man. And you can't just sweep that under the rug, man. That ain't no under the rug type of thing, man. This is something serious. And Jaguar Wright, she's talking about these kids and stuff, man. Just like Allie Carter, she's talking about the kids that they got, man. They transporting, and of course, y'all know it's a docking type place that's over there at Star Island. It's really right across the street from it, man. That's where all the yachts and the cruise ships and everything, gets parked that people get, people aboard the ships and the cruises and the yachts and all that stuff. But yeah, man, they got a container spot right across the street from them, man, that they saying that's what they be transporting them from, man. And with all these tunnels and stuff, man, that's coming out too, man. It's crazy, man, how they saying that this is all allegedly. I'm gonna say that again, but they saying that it's a life under the ground, man. So like everything that we see out here that's above ground, they have underground, man, including stores and places to go shopping. That's how people get everywhere faster, avoiding traffic, avoiding being seen. And they pop out at stadiums and all type of important places where they perform at and things of such, man. This is just, it's crazy. It's a lot of information, man. And Allie Carter, she said that she's on the run, man. Like, she had to move every couple of months because they after her, man. And she got some people that's going to be coming forward soon. Jaguar Wright said she got like 3 to 5 people that's about to come forward with evidence, whether if it's audio and video. I think it's both. She said that they have both man, this is gonna shake up the world, man. And I told y'all that lawyer, man, he said he got that evidence, man. He got all these tapes and all this footage, man, and he's trying to blackmail these artists for getting the bag. I don't think that should be allowed. I mean, you definitely saying that you have all of this information, and if you put it out, it's gonna shake the whole entertainment industry. It's gonna shake the whole entire entertainment, sports, the whole industry, period. But you're willing to take a bag to let them keep the footage, or you're willing to take a bag and not put it out. That should be illegal as well. And that's kind of a form of blackmail, if you want to say that too, man. Because, you know, you bribing these people to get access to what, billions of dollars. I'm saying that one tape, they said it went for 500 million. So I can only imagine you're going to charge that or even more to these people. You're going to taunt them and say, hey man, if you don't give me this right here, I'm putting this out tomorrow type thing, you know. And they got too much going on, man. So I want y'all to check this one out here, man. Let me know what y'all think about this whole entire situation, you know. And drop in the comments, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man, as always, man. All the love and support. And hit that subscribe button, man. Run that subscribe button up for me, man. Let's keep doing this, man. Let's keep rocking it out, man. And, you know, y'all helping support the channel, man. I'm going to make sure I do that in return for y'all, man. Y'all family, man. Y'all done joined the team. You know, it's only up from here, man. We're going to run it up, run it up, run it up, man. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all stay safe, stay warm, man. Stay blessed, stay happy. And, you know, share the peace, man. And definitely got to do better, man. We got to do better, man. So I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one, man. I'm out.
This is Karen Hyde here. Before I be exposed, I did sleep with Diddy doing Diddy sex pipes. That's how he be doing the roads of Hollywood. My agent knows, my manager knows, my PI knows, now my life knows. It is what it is.
Quorum's LinkedIn account, which was deleted many months ago, said that she joined Bad Boy Entertainment in 2013 and became Combs' day-to-day manager. That title makes you think that she was likely running his schedule and was likely involved in every aspect of his life. So it leads you to believe there's probably no one who knows Sean Combs better and what he's like than Christina Quorum. Quorum later became the director for the Office of the Chairman, and then in 2020, she was promoted, earning the title of Diddy's Chief of Staff. Quorum worked for Combs during the time that he's being accused of a racketeering conspiracy, using his businesses and employees to commit and cover up a number of crimes, including sex trafficking.
Diddy, of course, called her his right hand, and some of the lawsuits, I believe Little Rod's lawsuit especially, named her as a defendant, and there's some very damning allegations against her that she had a fanny pack and would provide the drugs to Diddy and the sex workers. She would arrange for the commercial sex workers to be flown in. So again, those are just allegations in a civil lawsuit, but I think of all the individuals that work for Diddy, I think she appears to be the closest to these freak-offs and the one that's probably the closest to being indicted if she doesn't cooperate.
Quorum has been named in a civil suit filed by record producer Rodney Little Rod Jones that included explosive allegations about both Combs and Quorum. First, Little Rod claimed Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Quorum, known as KK, instructs her staff to retrieve drugs so she can provide them to Mr. Combs for his consumption. A footnote in the suit filed by Little Rod says defendant Quorum instructed her staff, Brendan Paul, Frankie Santella, and Moy Bond, to spike bottles of champagne with ecstasy. Upon information and belief, this occurred the day of December 31st, 2022, the New Year's Eve party. Little Rod claims that he complained to Quorum about sexual advances from Combs and that she responded, "Sean will be Sean," and downplayed Combs groping him as horseplay, stating, "He's just showing that he likes you." Jones also called Quorum the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein, claiming she required employees to walk around with fanny packs of cocaine, GHB, and ecstasy to keep Combs high, and much more.
Diddy is sloppy.
I like when you like this, Daddy. Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. I like that.
It is a lot more covert.
Not very famous, you don't know me. I don't know. I'll get this, okay?
Which allows him to get away with a lot more than Diddy would. until the witnesses come forward and feel safe enough to come forward. No one will ever truly know how terrible that man is. But I'm telling you for a fact, he is worse than Diddy. And if anyone wants to question why I can say so, it's because I do have a picture with Mr.
A new accuser and a new lawsuit has come forward that says Chris Brown shrugged and graped someone on one of Diddy's yachts at one of Diddy's parties. I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised, but what do you guys think?
As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy.
You know, deliver a message. It was important. Like, I had to do it. He said, long story short, I went to the security guard, I told him how important it was. He let me in the room, and when I came in the room, I seen Puffy busting. It was getting it in. It's more deeper questions that I be wanting to know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations, because that's not your child. I want to know what Justin Bieber, all these, I want to know. That man is terrified of Puffy. I seen the video. I'm in the streets, dog. Like, people know, fear, dog. It's kind of hard to explain, because it's hard to explain, because then you're going to figure out what I'm talking about.
Freddie P., a former member of Sean Diddy Combs' Dub Band, recently dropped bombshell revelations about Diddy's private life. In this new interview with Freddie, he exposes a lot of the Hollywood celebrities that Diddy has secretly been using behind closed doors. According to Freddie, his friend had been trying for some time to pass on a critical message to Diddy, insisting that it was important enough to be delivered personally. After persuading the security guard to allow him access to Diddy's private room, Freddie's friend entered, completely unaware of the secret he was about to uncover. Upon entering, the friend was stunned to see Diddy in the middle of a sexual encounter with none other than comedian Kevin Hart. The sight of Diddy and Hart engaged in sexual activities was not just shocking because of who was involved, but because of the power and secrecy surrounding Diddy's inner circle.
And when I came in the room, I seen Puffy busting. It was getting it in.
Freddie's friend, caught off guard by what he witnessed, knew immediately that this was a secret that could never be shared, at least not without serious repercussions.
I could say this, because I've been saying it while he was out. I'm one of the few people been calling this out for years. They ain't scared of who. I've been telling this where you at. I'm not scared of you.
Kevin Hart, known for his wholesome public persona and comedic roles, was now implicated in a world far removed from the laughter and good-natured image he projects to his fans. Freddie went on to explain that this moment was a turning point for his friend. He realized that exposing Diddy's secret could potentially destroy not just Diddy, but Kevin Hart as well. The power dynamics in the entertainment industry, especially under someone as influential as Diddy, meant that staying silent was the safest and perhaps only option. Freddie also hinted that Kevin Hart was not an innocent bystander in Diddy's world, but rather someone who had attended Diddy's notorious freak-offs, wild, hedonistic parties where sexual activities, often fueled by drugs and alcohol, were encouraged or coerced. These freak-offs have been at the center of the allegations against Diddy, And Freddie's story only deepens the disturbing narrative surrounding the music mogul. Over the years, rumors have circulated about what went on at these parties, and leaked videos have reportedly shown celebrities.
Building, he has his own news channel.
Yeah,
if you guys make sure you turn in.
Brother, love the feed, man. Wow, thanks, man.
Of course, man, you know. So he was just saying,
You've been to the party, you know it's all white, baby. You know it's all white, yeah.
You ain't been in no party.
Yeah, it's all white. You playing,
He ain't been in no party.
dancing, dancing,
No,
still
no.
So what you saying is, though, honestly, like, since we are on the topic, you have been to
No.
actual
No, bro.
Channel.
You're lying.
Love and happiness. Wait a minute, something going wrong.
we keep going viral too much, and we want to eat off.
Who, me?
You do too.
No, I do.
Yeah, no,
the
I do.
only person
I
going
do.
viral is me. And
No, I
I'm
go
telling
viral.
No, you don't.
Okay. Can we do a vote? Can we vote? How many more times has Orlando been viral than Ray J?
Love and happiness.
All right, okay, he just helping out a nice little white girl that needed some, a family, okay? Okay, come on, y'all. Y'all smarter than this. Y'all smarter than this.
But there's more to the story of Ava that lines up. Hopper and Catherine's relationship had been unstable. The two married briefly, and Ava was born not long after their 34-day marriage. Living in central Oklahoma, while Catherine and Ava were in San Antonio, Hopper battled to keep regular touch with his daughter. Hopper's attempts to obtain custody were repeatedly rejected, even though he hired 5 lawyers and paid over $45,000 in court expenses in Texas and Oklahoma. Hopper claims that Catherine's life grew more unpredictable as she reportedly slept in shelters, moved around, and had unsteady relationships.
If you're still not convinced that's her, here's a picture of her that her parents took. It's one of the last photos. Now, take note of her long forehead, her shortened chin, the jaw structure, the teeth, the eyebrows, the eyes, the eye color, the cheekbones, and ears. And she just also happens to be the exact right age.
So who is Ava Baldwin? David Hopper saw his daughter, Ava Grace Baldwin, barely 6 years old last time. 8 years have gone by now, and Hopper suspects Ava's mother, Catherine Baldwin, could have taken away her and concealed her all this time. He worries Ava could not even be aware she classifies as a missing person.
She was seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. And here's a few more. So it shows that, yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is, in fact, their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter.
First reported missing in 2015, Ava's primary school contacted Hopper, worried about her missing almost 3 weeks of attendance from class. Police believe Catherine took Ava, which drove Hopper to start an 8-year search for his daughter. Keep watching, because this next revelation could turn everything upside down. Could Diddy's adopted child actually be the missing Ava Baldwin?
However, I found a video that is so suspect.
I am a great father, but I'm sleeping with the... Tell me, who do you have a crush on? Tell Daddy the truth.
Hopper recalls getting the September 2015 call from Ava's school. Learning Ava had missed 21 days, he quickly called San Antonio police to report a missing person. Officers found, shockingly, that the address Ava and Catherine had on file was an empty lot. The timeline is intriguing. 2015 aligns with the age Diddy's adopted daughter would be now, 15. With the same name, age, and a history of living on the streets, it raises serious questions about a potential connection between the two cases.
First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be.
Once Hopper received a video of Catherine that we can't mention here. Child Services contacted Hopper. Hopper was only given partial custody in spite of this, therefore restricting his contact with Ava to summers and holidays. Hopper said Ava was the perfect little girl and clearly remembers the moment she discovered he was her father. She was in wonder, he said. She had no idea her dad existed. I stayed a secret from her. According to Hopper's sister, Tina Fulbright, Catherine, also referred to as Katie, was notorious for her erratic behaviors. She would move to another county after getting into trouble in one, Fulbright recounted. Erratic behavior from parents can significantly contribute to increased shyness and anxiety in children, as the instability often breeds insecurity and fear. Diddy's daughter, Ava, exhibits clear signs of this. There's an undeniable sense that something is off.
There's somebody out there
that knows where she's at. Katie did not get out of San Antonio by herself. We believe she had help. We know that they are alive.
Hopper sought full custody in 2016 after growing worried about Ava's safety. Still, Catherine and Ava disappeared before the court procedure could finish. 7 months later, in April 2016, Catherine's silver 2014 Ford Escape was discovered left abandoned in a San Antonio park. Ava is supposedly 15 years old now, and Hopper has complete legal custody. Witness accounts and sightings. There have been reported sightings of Ava and Catherine in Florida, where Catherine allegedly attempted to hand Ava over to another couple. Similarly, recent photos and videos of Diddy's adopted daughter have sparked discussions about a potential connection, given the resemblances in appearance and age.
Really deep similarities. And if you go watch the video, the whole video, Ava actually claimed that, he just randomly found her on the street, which is,
Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
Catherine has a felony warrant for violating child custody. News Nation met with the adopted and reared apart elder daughter of Catherine. She voiced concern about Catherine and Ava. The overlapping details between Ava Baldwin's disappearance and Diddy's adopted daughter cannot be ignored. Whether it's the name, age, timeline, or shared signs of distress, the pieces of this puzzle are intriguing, leaving us all to wonder if Ava Baldwin could be hiding in plain sight. San Antonio police
Coming to the after party,
Good, you're doing so good.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza, like we talked about. Yeah. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic.
So I need to give you a massive flashing red warning here. And if you are triggered or upset, then this is definitely not the show for you tonight. She is going public with her name. The accuser is named Ashley Parham. She says that in February of 2018, she met a man named Shane Pierce at a bar. Shane FaceTimed Diddy outside on the sidewalk. And this is important. She says she believed that Diddy had something to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur. But Ashley Parham says that she told both Shane and Diddy on FaceTime that she wasn't impressed. Allegedly, Diddy warned her that she would pay for saying something like that. And the lawsuit says, quote, where she says this guy Shane invited her to come to his apartment. And defendant Shane offered her a glass of water, which he retrieved and brought back to the plaintiff. P. Diddy showed up with an entourage, including his top aide, Christina Coram. Parham says that Diddy was antagonistic from the start and that he put a knife to her.
We're now nearing 25 years since this murder, and it's still unsolved.
I don't think it's unsolved. I don't think.
Well, I mean, officially, according to law enforcement, it is unsolved.
Right, according to law enforcement, unsolved. But if you got all the information and you are stopping the public, you are stopping FBI agents, and you're stopping people who can solve the case, you understand, and bring it forefront to the world, then it had to be a reason why. There was a shooting in the air prior to Big getting shot that brought the police and the fire department on the other side of the museum anyway. So my whole thing about it is that it had to be some people that had some influence to get that murder done and get away with it. They got cars up in there that cost hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in that museum. What the first thing they're going to make sure that's working? They security cameras, inside and outside, right? What they're going to make sure that they have enough security, enough police, enough presence that nothing don't go wrong. It's no way that you're going to tell me there was a bank across the street that they didn't get the LAPD didn't get the footage from the nearby places when it was told to them that car was parked on that corner all night. You understand? They have the evidence to make this case. They just not giving it up. And that's real talk. They don't want to, because if they find their own has something to do with it, it was going to cost the city $400 to $600 million.
Easy.
Easy. I feel the people who are really in charge of the music industry killed our best artists. Michael Jackson was murdered. Prince was murdered. Whitney Houston was murdered. This is what I believe. I'm putting it out there. When you're in that music game, you're not gonna leave with nothing that makes you rich. You're gonna leave dead. Do the research. Check out I'm talking about our greatest artists.
But this is a conspiracy theory, though.
That's what they call it to make you feel better about it. But I'm saying, who in the music industry, I can't believe Mariah Carey is still
the motherfucking OGs, and they gonna bring it. They gonna bring it. It's their hometown. I know this. I don't even want to break your zone. I don't even want to break your zone. This is like it's true. This is like me getting on a chance to be on the same show with everybody. Wait. You know what I'm saying? Wait. Y'all been killing it too. Stick those poses, man. Everybody stick to those poses. Those poses be, and y'all be freezing, and the crowd just gets louder and louder. Y'all making me get my freeze back. You know, I started the freeze. That's right. Y'all freeze be like, and y'all don't move. Superhero, yeah, we all inspire each other. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. You know how much this is so crazy. I'm just saying, I'm gonna let y'all know for any R&B group to be on the stage with New Edition or to be on the stage with Jodeci, that's where you want to work up to. You want to make sure that you at that level and you went and sang. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I know y'all gonna sing because y'all been singing. What? Okay. Wait! Y'all been singing. Where's the run at? I mean, where Q at?
He's around 5 minutes out. Him and Q, I'm still at 5 minutes.
I don't even know if they missed Q last night. I gotta tell Q. I gotta let him know. I gotta let him know because them boys were singing up there. Hey, yo, Q is my boy. You know I gotta let him go. Yeah, I gotta go hard on him. I advise Q not to miss the show anymore. Oh my God. We just get hot backstage. All I want to do is get hot backstage. I did not say that. Ain't nobody back here. Hey, yo, this is Jodeci's dressing room. They're not here right now. I don't remember a time I came into Jodeci's dressing room and they were there. They usually just run on stage. Somebody gonna find them for me?
Have you looked into the Playboy Mansion and Hugh Hefner? The Playboy Mansion has blueprints showing that he had tunnels built back in the 70s. Now, these tunnels were used for celebrities to gain access to the mansion and whatnot, but I'm like, the mansion's pretty secluded and heavily guarded already. What do you need tunnels for? Hugh Hefner, he was no angel himself. He had this thing every Thursday night called Pig Night. This is a real thing. It's documented. So he had these pimps from Sunset Boulevard, brought all the up to the mansion, and he was like, hey, you know, how many pigs you got tonight? He called the women pigs, right? Sounds like trafficking to me. And then I get a tweet, and somebody said, hey, I know somebody who actually used to drive the carts underground in the Playboy Mansion. It don't only connect, allegedly, to Diddy's house, but it goes to other celebrities' houses, too. The craziest story is that before he died, he had a stipulation when he was selling the Playboy Mansion that he had to live there as you were living there, and he wanted to die there. So you want to be there until the day you die. Are you trying to hide something? Are you trying to make sure they don't see the tunnel?
Sean P. Diddy Combs is currently being held in federal jail in Brooklyn facing sex trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy charges. Two of the suits filed are from accusers who say they were minors at the time they were allegedly drugged and assaulted by the music mogul. Again, minors. And for the first time, other celebrities are now cited and accused of participating in an alleged assault, though they are not being identified at this particular moment in time. Look, you know what I've said. You know what I've been on the record for saying. Sean P. Diddy Combs is in a world of trouble. I'm not attaching guilt or innocence. I have no idea about his guilt or innocence. At no time have you heard me implicate him in anything. I don't know. All I'm talking about is speaking to people who cover Hollywood, speaking to legal analysts and expert, knowing law enforcement official, taking into account that the feds are after him. Say some state crime, some isolated incident or whatever. When you're talking about racketeering and sex trafficking, it's a problem. Talk about sex workers coming across state lines, that's a problem. When you're now talking about minors being involved, that's a problem. And when you talk about the potential of stars, other notable figures being implicated, that's a huge big time problem.
Charlemagne called me one day and told me he was having a party, a beach party, and invited me to the beach party. Initially, I said no, but then he said the party was actually for him. It was his birthday. And he said, you know, you're like my sister, you have to be there. And I told him, I said, okay. Give me a second. So he told me it was his birthday party and I had to be there. He said, you're like my sister, I want you to come. And I told him, I said, okay, I would come. So I called my best friend and I asked her if she wanted to go. And she said that she would think about it. She got back to me and said she couldn't go. So I asked my brother's girlfriend at the time, her name is Malika Joyner, and she said that she would go with me. Or the day of the party, I got a call from Charlemagne and asked if we were ready. And we told him yes. So he came to pick us up. There were two vehicles. It was a Yukon and I believe it was a Talon, if I'm not mistaken, a sports car. He had a few guys with him, and one of those guys was a cousin of his by the name of Kenta Palmer. Kenta Palmer was the one driving the sports vehicle. Prior to this day, I had never met Kenta or any of the guys who came to pick us up. I just assumed they were friends and family of his because he was having this alleged birthday party. There were a few guys in the truck and one guy in the sports car. They picked us up late afternoon. Malika and I got into the vehicles. We left. From there, we went to his father's house. Once we got there, I met his father, and there was a few other people there, which I believe were his family members, and they were sitting in there watching TV. We sat there for a while. We left his parents' house and got into the vehicles and drove to, I believe it was a gas station. At the gas station, Malika called my mom to check in to let her know we were okay. I believe Charlemagne and someone else got out and went inside the gas station, came back into the vehicles, and then we drove to the villa. Once we got there, went inside. Give me a minute. Right now we are at the Short Stay Villa in Mox Corner. This is where everything took place on June 2001. As you can see, in order to access the villa, you need a military pass. Someone by the name of Derek Major got the villa for Charlemagne that night. I know Charlemagne repeatedly says that this party was for a cousin of his named Kenta Palmer, but I was told from Charlemagne himself that this party was for him. It was his birthday. That's the only reason I came. The first thing I noticed is there were just a whole bunch of guys there. I think there were two other females, but they were in the back outside, and I could see them through the sliding door, but it was majority guys. Villa number 30, this is where the party was. Me and Malika walked into the party with Charlemagne, his friends and cousins.
The audio recording of Ray J seemingly threatening Fabulous he'd send Diddy to grape him has resurfaced again. However, the streets are saying Fabulous is too scared to speak out against Diddy because he's being blackmailed by some freak-off tapes.
Let's get Fab on the line right now. I'll smack the out that.
You can't smack him over the phone, Ray.
On the phone that like, and they gonna rape that. Bring that nigga over and stick it in that. All right.
Are being taken in ways that nobody can explain.
Guy in the building. Hey yo, this guy right here, one of the hip hop entrepreneur, young legends. He's in my gang. He gets money. Yes, he does.
Yes, I'm inspired though. God is good.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm saying it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday. Huh? Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
But wait, what does this say about Ray J? How come he was so bold to publicly threaten Fabulous with grape? Is this proof that Ray J is a handler for Diddy and the higher-ups? Let's break it down.
Just one question, though. When I hit Slay, he ain't gonna be able to even stay in his own town because I got some goons out there that's gonna get him too.
Ray J is once again in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons after audio resurfaced of him threatening Fabulous and saying he'd get one of his male friends to grape him. And of course, fans are convinced Ray J was referring to Diddy. Now, to give you some context, Ray J's beef with Fabulous dates back over 10 years, and it was sparked by an HBO clip of Ray J singing at a Floyd Mayweather house party.
Coming to you live, we got a serious concert that we got to attend to. Concert in my living room. You know, that's how we do. I'm 24/7. Everybody, I'm gonna grab somebody in.
After seeing this, Fabulous hopped on Twitter to tease Floyd for saying there was a serious concert in his living room, only for it to be Ray J and a piano. Fabulous wrote, "Nah, but Floyd saying he having a concert in my living room and the camera cuts to Ray J singing One Wish on the piano had me in tears." But this whole situation escalated when Ray J called into the Breakfast Club after feeling disrespected by Fabulous and went on a wild rant. He claimed that he'd already punched Fabulous at an after party for insulting him and Floyd. And during the rant, Ray J also mentioned Diddy, implying that Diddy might have been the one encouraging him to punch Fabulous.
When you want to disrespect me and the money team, and we got 7 Rolls Royces outside and we just made 350 racks on the... Don't disrespect me. I'm going to smack you up again, fool.
All right, so Ray J, let's
talk. I'm saying. Ray J got beat up. I'm in the face, man.
You punched Fab in the face.
One time. All I'm saying is if you got Fab number, tell that send a picture of his face right now.
I said, so you went up to him at the after party.
I'm with the
what
money
happened?
team right now. We all over here. I swear to God, he running from me right now. I had 100 fools outside a Moon right now. He never left the club. He was scared up in there. He tried to call the police.
So when you hit him, what did he do, Ray?
Nothing. He fell back because he's a sucker.
Okay, now Ray J, let me ask you. So he didn't hit you back?
Look, check this out. No disrespect. Like, shout out to my big bro Diddy because he tried to really be like, look.
Tell me calm down, brother.
I'm ready for this, man.
All right.
Straight up. Bitch ass.
Thank you, Ray.
Man, I hate to see people so mad like that. I don't want Ray J to do nothing crazy.
This nigga want to talk. I was with Puff last night and I said, Puff, he said, listen, if anybody talks about me, I'm going to smack them in the face. And I said, you know what? You know, you right.
Wale told us it's a girl named Cassie. Diddy don't really like he overprotective of her. This about any male though, the whole industry, the male industry, anybody. It could be the engineer, anybody. So he prepping us like he don't even really want us around each other, but we making music. So we get in the studio, we chilling, we in there. Wale back there, she back there. I only know this is Cassie because Wale prepped us before we got there. So I see some people come through the door. I just see big ass people, black shirts. I can't really see who beside them, but I know it's a security detail. I'm a security detail myself in my head, but I can't see who it is. He got a hat on and they going towards the back. I can't really tell, but as they keep going farther and I get a whiff, I see what's going on. Now when I see what's going on, I said that's Diddy. I don't even know how the fuck they know we in here. So now I see it's Diddy and they go back there, but I told you we was already prepped on what's going on. So now we see Diddy. We know he back there with that girl and he coming in with these 2 big ass niggas and they moving aggressively, like they on aggressive time. He ain't said nothing, he ain't said no words. As they go to the back, all I hear is do. The do made me and Shy sit up and run and look. We just looked the blinds back where we could see it. It's a studio, but outside the studio, it's like a balcony. You can smoke right there, chill right there, do whatever, but you can hang off the ledge of that motherfucker too. I swear to God, I went to the studio with Wale. I know what type of shoes he had on, bro. I seen the shoes. I even complimented him on the shoes, bro. And Wale, the sweat and the way his shirt was when he came back out, you knew it was him.
Did Steve Harvey make Lori Harvey date Diddy? What's up with that?
Of course. And allegedly, Mary Harvey has said so. Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. I just don't know with the way Diddy rock, like, how do you share with your daughter, you know? Like, they share that experience now? Well, what'd he do to you, baby? Like, what? This nigga's wild. You heard about what he did in the Macy's room to the Echo clothing guy? Like, Diddy's an animal. Who would introduce their daughter to that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even if it is your stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Like, that's nobody's thinking about that. First, his fake son would Wolf tried her out. Made sure she was partyable. I guess he gave her that special pair of shoes. And then he turned her over to the diddler. Like, why is not nobody looking at Steve Harvey sideways, G? You let your daughter date the diddler?
After Pac's death, we saw a check. Eric Von Zip had it for $1 million. You know the funny thing about that whole shit with that check stuff? Is that not one individual who has the ability and the authority to run and see that Eric Martin cash a check for $1 million. They never said it wasn't a check for $1 million. Greg Caden, none of them never said there wasn't a check for $1 million because all they had to do is run his accounts. Did he ever receive a check from $1 million from Jimmy Henchman, Blackground Records, Barry Hankerson? Did he ever receive that check? Everybody always say, ain't nobody paying nobody with no $1 million check. Ain't nobody writing no check. I didn't say the check was for nobody's death. He got it for Blackground Records. I don't never know him owning Blackground Records or doing a record label or anything. He may have. I don't know. But I do know I saw that check for $1 million, and I know who he said he got it from and what it was for.
Everybody knew that Snoop Dogg, mentioned him in December of 2020, but everybody beat the hell out of me. Screw you, that can't be true. What the hell do I know, right? And then recently it just came out again that Snoop Dogg got accused of actually trafficking children. And what did everybody do? Ooh, Snoop Dogg is at the halftime. I'm going to the halftime. But we canceled Dr. Seuss. And Jemima. And nobody mad. Nobody. Super Bowl had this. They were dripping down from the letters. The LVI. I know, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's go to the game. Make some hot wings. It's fine. It'll pass. It'll pass, right? It's a phase. It's just a phase. But oh no, tell somebody that plastic straws are coming back and throw a fit. Let a convict get arrested. Somebody put a knee on a convict's neck and it's over. The neck of it held. Crickets. Crickets. Nothing. Everything's fine.
It's now being reported that Diddy forced his staff to carry the pink schmo-schmain on them for any time he needed it, which is the same substance found on Liam Payne. The substance they found in Liam Payne is the pink stuff. The pink stuff is the same stuff that happens to be what Diddy used. I'm sure there's no coincidence there.
Motherfucking niggas just going, you see Kevin Lyles just step down, right? That is the beginning. Diddy is the beginning, the house of cards is going for. Allegedly, Kevin Lyles and Trey Songz was in a relationship for a long time.
Come on, Cho.
Dead ass.
That's if that is the case, that's a weird situation. Like couple-wise, I wouldn't expect that.
That was his manager.
Copy.
And then soon as he wasn't his manager no more, what happened to Trey Songz's career?
Gene Deal, his security guard, came out saying that, well, this was a few months back, but him and Ja Rule were in the room together with robes on.
Say what?
Him and Ja Rule was in the room together with robes on. Diddy and Ja Rule allegedly.
They were? That what Gene said? Man,
yeah, that's what the security guard said.
Gene done snuck and got him some too. He ain't witnessed and saw all that, nigga, and ain't partaked and participated. They ain't gonna keep you around. They ain't gonna keep a nigga around to see all the secrets, nigga, and you ain't in on the secrets. We need some assurance, nigga. We need some assurance. Nigga, get on in here, Gene. Gene, see you, Big Gene coming out too. That's how he know everything. He ain't just a fly on the wall just to be a fly on the wall, nigga. How you get to be a fly on the wall, Gene? How? To get to see all you done seen and you stayed quiet all this time. How you get to be a fly on the wall is what I want to know. Same with like I had Whack 100 one time. Who keep telling you all the gay secrets, nigga? How you getting all the gay secrets? Who trusting you and entrusting you with the gay vault? So now, man, you got to question the nigga to say they done seen. How you get to see that kind of shit, nigga? And they know him to keep it discreet.
But probably he was playing dumb, like he didn't act. Man, he was probably acting like he didn't see.
You done seen too much to know you ain't seen to play dumb. During the hiring phase, you think these people don't know what to look for in a man to trust a straight man around. I'm playing straight before the world, but in secret, my bodyguard know I'm a Fruit Loop. So I'm supposed to trust this bodyguard, and I fired him 20 years ago. Unless the bodyguard is in with what I'm in with, he don't get to see nothing. So, nah, man, I think everybody who saw something because they was a part of something. That's how they was able to see something.
Y'all, Diddy's son, Christian Combs, is not here for Jay-Z's disappearing act and has put Jay-Z on blast for betraying Diddy in the middle of his legal woes. Jay-Z used to be one of Diddy's closest allies, but he switched up on him quickly once the feds came knocking, and he hasn't looked back since. Well, it looks like Christian Combs has a lot of dirt on Jay-Z. He is now threatening to snitch on Jay-Z, not only to the feds, but also to the public. He just confirmed that the first he has is worse than anything we can imagine. This is about to be a hot mess because Christian did not come to play with Jay-Z. Y'all remember how folks have been buzzing about Jay-Z possibly being the next big name in Hollywood to get exposed? Well, word on the street is that Diddy's son Christian has been out here working to make that happen and has supposedly been spilling tea on Jay-Z as payback for abandoning his dad and cutting ties completely. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past year, you probably already know that Jay-Z and pretty much everyone else in the industry has been distancing themselves from Diddy because of all the allegations from his ex, Cassie, Lil Rod, and other victims, plus the ongoing federal investigation. I'm not about to dive into the details of the allegations, but they were bad enough for Diddy to get fully canceled by the industry. He even got uninvited from the Grammys and was cut off by all his industry buddies. What's wild is that he seems extra bitter about Jay-Z cutting him off, because now word on the street is that Christian is allegedly on a mission to make sure Jay-Z is the next one to fall. To give some context on why Christian is so mad at Jay-Z, these two weren't just casual industry pals. They were super close, like bestie level tight. Diddy even once said that Jay-Z and his mom were the only two people in the world who could call him by his real name, Sean. So you know that betrayal stings a little extra.
There's only one person. Oh, go on. And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean. Okay. Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean. He's the only person who's Sean approved. There's not a single person That outside of family? That should be, no, outside of my mother. Okay, just they should be calling me, yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
So, Diddy probably thought Jay-Z was gonna stick by him during all this mess, but Jay-Z hit him with a big psych and dipped out quicker than you could blink. Honestly, it shouldn't be all that shocking, because Jay-Z has a history of bailing on people when things get messy, especially
the Diddy parties. Me personally, I was a backyard, 12:15 to 1:30. We were gone. Didn't go to the house. At a Diddy party.
Okay.
In the house, it's still cool to like 2:33. After that, cats leave. Now, whoever stayed, go to the back, whatever. We don't know.
I'm the DJ. When it's time for me to wrap up, I'm out.
That's the 3 o'clock joint.
No,
2:30, 3 o'clock.
Not even that late. You said 12:30, 1.
Oh, you did the backyard.
Yeah,
we did the backyard, but
yeah, we out.
We didn't go in.
Okay.
Right? Because he's not letting everybody in until everybody gets there.
Well, yeah, that's what Shorty said is like the real freak.
I
never seen none of that.
I never seen none of that either.
And that's my problem with all of this is that as much as we've heard about the Diddy thing, we still have heard so few firsthand accounts. Tania, Crip Mac's ex-girlfriend, Stupid Badass's alleged fake baby mama, she had a soft white underbelly clip that went viral earlier this week in which she talked about it and gave some details about what she saw, but this is still a person who claims that they did not participate in it.
What up? How y'all listening? Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. Hey, this motherfucker doing it. He thinks sweet now because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. About all these lawsuits though, Pop. Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. But some money hungry.
I think the biggest name so far to come out is Jennifer Lopez. What did she know? When did she know it? Unless there's a change in circumstances. Oh, that's right. You don't like jail. And you're making friends with cockroaches. So is that your change in circumstances? The fact that you're living in a hellhole called jail and you're secluded and it sucks? Welcome to jail. That's what jail is all about. Jail is about making it
The fallout from Diddy's arrest has shaken Hollywood, with new reports suggesting that arrest warrants have been issued for several celebrities allegedly tied to his criminal activities. The investigation into Diddy's infamous parties has widened, and sources say that as many as 7 high-profile names could now face charges. The list includes major stars like Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez, adding even more intrigue to an already explosive case.
So absent a change in circumstances, the new judge isn't going to rule on it, despite the fact that there's a new lawyer on the case. They've got some death penalty lawyer. It's not a death penalty type case, but they've got a lawyer with death penalty experience.
Pressure on LeBron James. I genuinely am not okay with his silence on the issue of Diddy, who he claims was his boy, who he claimed had the best parties ever.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
We have this former NBA player, Kwame Brown. He has a YouTube channel, and he is now calling out LeBron James. But take a listen.
Kwame Brown been sitting here chilling, talking politics, while LeBron James been ducking smoke from Candace Owens. He also been ducking smoke from Chael Sonnen. He been ducking smoke for anybody had them questions about this goddamn Diddy situation. You know, because them the greatest parties alive. You know, LeBron James on camera saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party. And we know them some naked-ass parties.
Those are, I can confirm, some naked ASS parties. He's an absolute fraud.
But has your view now changed?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, this is 24 years later, and it's shocking to hear all these allegations. It's completely shocking.
Shocking to hear them? Is it surprising, given everything that you may have gleaned about him in that period?
It is surprising. Yes, it is. I mean, it's been, you know, hearing all of this. I mean, I owe a lot to Puff with my career because, you know, work with the biggest photographers in the world, the biggest directors in the world. And, you know, we've met, we would go to Paris Fashion Weeks. I mean, we were running around with like the biggest names in the business. So, you know, to hear all of this happening right now is just, it's shocking.
You see, the reason I'm curious why you find it that shocking is that in 2010, you were very close to Cassie as well. And we've seen this horrific video, which emerged last year on CNN from several years prior, where he literally... Well, I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to just let the viewers know where I'm going here. You know, there was this appalling video that we're now seeing where he literally beats her up in public, in a hotel, you know, on a floor of a hotel, but in a public area. And it was absolutely despicable. Now, you said about that it wasn't a one-off, that when Cassie was beaten up on a separate occasion in 2010, you took her in, you said. We didn't even want to go to hospital, so I had a doctor friend of mine come and take a look at her. She was badly bruised, had knots on her head and a black eye. We were scared. I still have PTSD talking about it. That's nearly 15 years ago. So my only question to you is, given that, given what you witnessed then, given what you knew had happened, and given what we all then saw with the second incident on that horrific video, actually, why are you that surprised about these allegations that have come to light?
I mean, for me, it's like, it's just reliving the whole situation over again. And that to me is the shocking part of it. You know, I block that. That's PTSD, that's trauma that I experienced from back then. And reliving it is really, you know, difficult for me to experience, because I've known Cassie since she was 17 years old, and I was like her big sister, as well as her makeup artist. And just watching all of this it's absolutely shocking.
Right, but I mean, the reality is it's just based on what you witnessed that day in 2010, and based on what we've all seen in that other video, the guy, at the very least, was a person who beat up women. And yet the picture you painted of him, of your time with him, you know, in the early 2000s, was actually very positive. And you say you're very surprised and shocked by what's now come out. I wouldn't be shocked if I'd seen what happened to Cassie at first hand, and the way you did. I think this guy's a monster, and I'm curious why that isn't what you're thinking, or have you blanked that out?
Oh, I've absolutely blanked it out all these years, because it's something that I was very focused on my career. And so what happened then, you know, obviously we couldn't discuss with anyone. So I had to like blank it out of my brain.
Do you wish with hindsight...
I had to continue on and...
Right, but do you wish with hindsight, and I'm not accusing you of doing anything wrong. I'm just saying, do you wish with hindsight to prevent him treating other people in such a horrendous manner? Do you wish you'd taken it to the police, to authorities?
Of course, I mean, absolutely. But, you know, these are things that we couldn't do because we were terrified of Sean.
Right, see, that's really interesting, because that wasn't how you described him at the start of this. So tell me about that. Clearly there's another side to this guy, to the one that you painted when we first started talking. And the other side to him is appalling, isn't it? I mean, he wielded this power, this influence, this terror over you. Tell me about that.
I mean, like I said, like at the beginning of, you know, my career with Puff, you know, it was just like, you know, we were rising to the top. And like, when it got to the point with Cassie, it was like very difficult for me to like, just, I mean, deal with that. Like like even right now, it's just, it gives me like trauma. And so watching all these allegations unfold, I mean, being an industry professional, that's all I cared about. And like, I don't know what goes on like behind closed doors. So that's not, you know, that's not something for me to like even think about. And so when, you know, watching this unfold has been really difficult for me to like, you know, like stomach.
Right, but it wasn't, I mean, just respectfully, it wasn't behind closed doors, because in 2010, Cassie came to you after he beat her up.
Well, no, but I was there. I was actually with her that night.
Right, but that's what I mean, is that you knew it was happening because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do you feel any sense of guilt that you didn't report it?
Of course, absolutely. I feel a lot of guilt. I mean, I've been feeling that this whole entire year, you know, because I wish that I could have done something more. But at the time, we were both very terrified. So it's like, what were we supposed to do?
You said, this is a quote from you, we were always scared of Puff. He's a powerful person.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what would have happened to us if we'd spoken out. He could make you disappear. I mean, that sounds like you're saying he would basically have you killed.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? We were just scared.
Did you
Period.
genuinely think he might have you killed?
No, I don't. I was just saying that because that's something that, you know, it's a thought. It's just not. I don't know if it would happen. It was a thought.
Well, that's a pretty extraordinary thought to have, Myla, about someone, isn't it? That you...
Even before he gets to the trial, he's not giving up on trying to get out of jail. You know that he has been turned down twice to get out on bail, and he is being held in Brooklyn and will be there until the trial begins.
Unless he appeals and an appeals court says the judge was wrong, the judge should have allowed him to post bail, which is exactly what they are going to try and do.
Right, and he has brought in new lawyers to try and get this done.
TMZ recently revealed that Diddy is fighting for his release from jail before his trial. He has been denied bail twice. Currently held in Brooklyn, Diddy is appealing the judge's decision and has brought in new lawyers to strengthen his case and attempt another bid for bail before the trial. Rumors suggest that Diddy is struggling with being in jail after his arrest on charges including racketeering and misconduct trafficking. Reports claim he has been placed on self-destruction watch, sparking concerns about his mental state in detention.
Harvey, I'd go beyond hard. I think this is an impossible task. You're asking an appellate court judge to say that the trial court judge got it wrong, to your point, abuse of discretion, but it's based on the evidence before the trial judge. There's going to be a tremendous amount of deference given to the trial judge on his interpretation of the evidence. I can't see an appellate court overruling it just simply based on some sort of abuse of discretion. Just not here.
No.
Regarding Diddy's case, TMZ has reported that he is facing serious charges, including racketeering, trafficking, and transportation to engage in adultery. Diddy has been denied bail twice, and staying in prison is getting worse for Diddy.
Diddy was staying at the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. He apparently knew this was coming.
He's been preparing for this. And just hours before his arrest, was walking around the streets of New York,
talking to fans,
taking selfies with them. He and his son, Christian King Combs, were walking around talking to fans. So he seemed like he didn't have a care in the world. He'd been there earlier in the week. He was, over the weekend, was in Central Park.
Diddy is currently held in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, known for its worst conditions like poor sanitation, inadequate medical care, and bad food. These conditions have reportedly contributed to his anxiety and panic following his arrest and ongoing detention.
Diddy Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Is it inside this federal lockup? There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides.
Wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also?
Yeah, Puff. I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff liked to party.
In Game's mom, he started a male exotic club. What we used to do, we used to get guys that's just come fresh out of jail. You know, they was buffed up and they needed money. A lot of these guys can't go and fill out an application and get a job, but hey, if they look good, they've been working out.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years. And Diddy, we never went to the studio one time.
So it seems like this whole Diddy situation has really got some of the big name rappers sweating bullets, afraid that any videos of their rumored freak-offs with Diddy might end up all over the internet. And word on the street is the game is freaking out big time because supposedly there's more than just one tape out there with his name on it, courtesy of Diddy. These two were tight for ages, and the game even spilled the beans that he let Diddy treat him to fancy shopping sprees and lavish gifts without them ever hitting the studio together. And rumor has it that Diddy and the game had a unique bond, especially since the game supposedly worked as a male stripper before hitting it big in the music scene. And now the game's family is dropping hints left and right, suggesting that there might have been something more than just friendship between him and Diddy at one point. So what exactly went down between the game and Diddy during those years? And what's the deal with this supposed tape starring these two in main roles? Seems like there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye, so let's get into it.
We just did a bunch of partying. We might have went to the studio once or twice, but I didn't get to record nothing. I was just, you know.
So, you know how Diddy had 2 of his properties raided last month? Well, according to the latest reports, agents seized a bunch of electronic equipment from Diddy's 2 houses in Miami and LA, including laptops, mobile phones, and other devices. And word on the street is that Diddy has a whole collection of private tapes that he secretly filmed during those FO sessions with some famous industry faces. According to Diddy's former producer Lil Rod, who filed an explosive lawsuit against Diddy last month, Diddy had hidden cameras in every room of his house, and he was supposedly running some kind of Jeffrey Epstein-like blackmail operation within the hip-hop industry. Lil Rod's lawsuit states, while living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes. According to Lil Rod, Diddy filmed his party guests without their knowledge and consent, and he possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Now, you probably heard already that people are saying Meek Mill is one of these individuals that Diddy secretly recorded. That situation got a lot of attention, mainly because Meek went on a social media rampage, claiming that people were trying to ruin him. However, he still hasn't explicitly denied his alleged freak-off encounters with Diddy. Now, the game, on the other hand, openly talked about on more than one occasion how he used to run around with Diddy for 2 whole years, going on shopping sprees and traveling to exotic locations. And they never even recorded any music together. And interesting, that Game is actually one of the first rappers to talk about how the industry is full of men who are on the DL and living a double life. All the way back in 2011, the Game made an appearance on Vlad TV, and when they asked him if he thinks there are more rappers keeping their true selves under wraps than people realize, Game didn't hold back, and he said he knows plenty. He went on to explain his beef with male artists keeping secrets, pointing out that they're out that pretending to be womanizers while possibly spreading diseases in the process.
So that in the closet is real scary, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into the seriousness of it, and it's just not fair to, other people. And then friends, because that girl that you might be fooling might leave you and go find another dude who ain't gay, give him the disease, and he go cheats on her.
So with this old interview making the rounds again in light of the recent accusations against Diddy, fans started speculating that maybe it was Diddy who passed an STD to Usher. You might recall a few years back, Usher faced some heat when it came out that he allegedly gave herpes to a woman he was involved with. Back in 2017, court documents leaked online revealing that Usher had been dealing with this STD since around 2009 or 2010 and reportedly transmitted it to his female partner in 2012. Those documents spilled the details that Usher took care of the woman's medical expenses and settled the matter in court for a hefty $1.1 million. Now, going back to what the Game mentioned in that Vlad interview, when they asked him if he'd ever teamed up with a gay rapper without realizing it, Game brought up the fact that he'd collaborated with someone who was really going above and beyond to hide his identity.
Do you think that you've worked with a gay rapper?
Yeah, and gay, not being just full out gay, but hiding, trying to pretend like he, loves girls and lives the rap lifestyle. Really, he's a man fan.
And the reason why many folks are now convinced that
Okay, so Jaguar Wright just dropped some wild details about the Beyonce tape that has been rumored to make the rounds in the industry. For those of you who don't know, there have been reports that when the feds raided Diddy's houses earlier this year, they seized hundreds of tapes from his house, including allegedly one that showed Beyonce in a very inappropriate and compromising situation. Well, Jaguar Wright is now claiming that not only was the tape being shopped around, but it also had been bought by an anonymous billionaire who allegedly paid about $50 million for it. And get this, it looks like Beyonce is finally sick and tired of having Jaguar speak on her name, because her lawyer just issued a cease and desist to Jaguar to keep her mouth shut on Beyonce. Y'all, there's a lot going on here, but Jaguar has a lot of tea to spill, and she is not about to let herself be silenced. Okay, so to be fair, we haven't seen any actual footage from this alleged freak-offs, but a few pictures leaked online a couple of days ago, and they are undeniably shocking. One of Diddy's alleged victims leaked some secret photos taken at these parties, and the public reaction has been intense, to say the least. As shocking as these pictures are, those who claim to have seen the rumored Beyonce video suggest that it's far more disturbing than anything they've ever encountered so far. This raises some serious questions, though, about what truly went down at these events, because it seems to be absolutely insane. Although rumors of Beyonce's involvement in these parties have been floating around since the very beginning, it wasn't until a few days ago that reports surfaced of her being allegedly caught on tape engaging in some, let's just say, highly interesting activities. And there are now reports that the tape is being shopped around for a potential buy.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
A few years ago, Dwight Howard invited me to a Diddy party. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. Diddy was giving me a house tour when I saw 1,000 bottles of lube. He told me he was going to use them for a massive slip and slide, but I didn't buy it. Then he tried to convince me to play a game of strip horse. He really wanted to see LaHan.
Kamal is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person right there. I don't know. I mean, I assume you know them. Yeah.
Yes. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of business development at PayPal.
Yeah.
24 years ago.
Does he seem nervous to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's terrified of a Trump victory.
Because of the disclosure that would follow?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think he's certainly ideologically not aligned with Trump anyway, but I think he is concerned about the Epstein situation. Between Diddy and Epstein, there's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that the people on those videos are lecturing the rest of us about our moral failings, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is that?
Well, I mean, part of how they deflect attention from themselves is by, criticizing the morals of others.
Yes.
It's sort of like a preemptive moral strike. Those who are saying Trump is a threat to democracy are themselves actually the threat to democracy.
It feels like we're getting to a place where the rest of us know too much. Like, what happens next now that we know all this? The kidnapper's shown us his face. Like, what happens?
Well, I think if Trump wins, we can do some house cleaning and shed light on things.